I said, I actually started, for those of you who are new here, I know I see a few familiar ones here that joined, but if you haven't already, I actually started using High Level back in 2019. And the funny thing is, I didn't realize it was High Level because it was a white label under another agency that started really early. And I thought, okay, cool, it's just some CRM tool, but fast forward to today, obviously I'm obsessed over this, just like a lot of you guys are. And I became really good at it. So what I was selling at the time, right, was just lead generation. But then that big shift happened. For the longest time, it was just lead gen. And then voice AI and conversation AI came out, and I knew, okay, this is just not another feature like reputation management or funnels. Like, this is something pretty big. I mean, we have AI talking now, so this is kind of like the future, right? So I started offering it as a service. I went to my existing clientele and I told the contractors and the realtors I worked with, and I said, hey, so instead of just selling them leads, I said, hey, it's leads plus AI. So not only will I get you leads, but I'll give you an AI that books them straight onto your calendar. And of course, offer it, right? Irresistible. They said yes. I started closing like 1,500 to 3,000 setups and a 500 plus retainer. But the biggest thing is, once you know how to set this whole thing up within a High Level, you can rinse and repeat this. And I really don't say this to show off. I just say it to show you what's possible when you understand how to actually use these tools. Because, once you start, it's just like a snowball effect. So, and that brings us to today, right? The call's about you. It's about answering questions that are probably around your head, just like, hey, how do I set up my bot from a fresh account? I just got started. How do I make sure it doesn't say the wrong thing, or whatever it may be? I'm here. I want to hear you out. And so you guys can go ahead and start typing in the chat what's going on, and I'll get into it. But while you put those, I did want to make one request. Let me take a sip of this water real quick. My only request is just treat this like a community. I mean, if you hear a question that resonates with you, just lean in, right? If I answer something that, sparks another thought, write it down. Because the more you engage with this material, I'm telling you, the faster you'll get results. So, whether you're excuse me, whether you're new to High Level or you've been using it for a while but haven't really touched the AI features yet, today's really gonna be that day, right? It's gonna really open your eyes. So let's go ahead and jump in. Let me see if I got any questions coming up. Okay, difference between conversational AI and voice AI. Which one should I start with? Okay, yeah. So when you get to the AI agents here on the left-hand side, right? Once you log in, you're usually going to be prompted to get started. And by default, I think you're going to land under the voice AI, but you can start with voice or conversational. You don't have to pick one or the other. Like, you don't have to go in order, is what I mean. It really depends on, like, my recommendation is, what are you pitching your current clientele? Like, what's your offer? What's your service offer? Start with that and work around your existing offer. So, the way I like to describe it too is, right, like, conversation AI, in my opinion, is a little easier to get started with also, because you start learning how the text to text comes out. Like, it's generative AI, right? All of this is generative AI. You input something and it outputs something else. But conversation, in my opinion, setting it up is a little easier. So I would start there. And then once you get good at it, then you can start messing around with the voice AI. Because with voice, now we're talking about picking a voice and selecting the speed of how quickly it replies to the particular response from the you got to make sure at the other end of the phone. So just start with Conversation AI. That's the bottom tier, the end answer here, and I'll show you how we can build something together here as well. Let's see. How do I make my bot ask for name, email, and phone number every single time? Okay, yeah, great question. So let's go here. Do you see where it says create agent? We're gonna click on that and make sure you select create prompt-based bot, okay? I've gone over this in the other sessions that we host at 7 a.m., but you already know, just make sure you create it prompt-based. It gives you a lot more details, like you're able to be very specific with it. So start from scratch and continue. In this part, I'll touch on this here in a little later, because right now your question, right? It's how to extract name, email, and phone number every single time. We're gonna go to goals. And here under goals, right? You have the personality. It's broken into 3 categories: personality, intent, and any additional information like miscellaneous things. So if you don't know what each of these mean, you also have this little question mark, and you can investigate, right? Like, okay, well, what does this mean? So obviously it's going to be under intent as to, let me highlight it so you see. It's kind of like, what do you want? What's the intent of the bot? So here, high level already gives you a pre-defined prompt, but of course you can come here and edit and be more specific. The other thing is, usually like name, email, and phone number, you would think you'd have to come here and hit the add contact info. These are actions, and where you see add contact info, this is basically extracting text or data from the call and putting them on the contacts custom fields within the contacts section. Okay. Now, the name, number, and email, you'll notice here, it'll say, for name, email, and phone, skip action and add information directly into your prompt. So that means we don't have to add that information here. We simply are going to instruct the bot here. Also, make sure to gather the user's contact details, name, number, email. You can put first name, phone number, and email. Right? You can do it like that, and then it'll ask it. It will ask, and you can make it a requirement. So if you want to be very specific, you can put this is. So you'll learn as you start messing with the bot how it's going to be asking this. But if you also have to make sure, right, that when you're prompting this, depending on the type of client you're building this for, you like focus on the additional information. You focus on the personality, right? Like, for example, let's actually do a build out, right? I see some questions coming up, like industries. Let me ask the audience. Okay, we're gonna build a very simple one right now, because if I'm just going hypotheticals, we're not really gonna get one done. So, can somebody just tell me a professional that you guys work with, like an end user? Okay, dentist. That's great. That's a perfect one. So if I were to say, let's do something cool. Yeah. We're gonna take this out, and we're gonna try and utilize some of these tools at the bottom to show you how this works. Let me see. Referendums and other questions. Okay.
So one of them would be, how do I separate them by pipelines? Okay. I'm gonna grab that one and tie it to this one. What's another question?
Okay, so we got, I'm gonna make some notes, use this intent to make notes, right? So one is pipelines, dentist. What's another question? Let's see. Can I give my bot a personality? That's good. What else, guys? Can the bot handle? Yes, of course, FAQs. All right, let's keep it to those right here. Also, you can drag this down if you need to. So basically, I was asked here, can we add leads to pipelines? Dentist. I think we actually did one like this last time. So we already have, I think, a dentist one. Dentist, service type, personality. We'll give it a personality. We'll ask the audience here. FAQs. This is basically a knowledge base. Okay. Personality. We'll give it a Southern Belle. I think I picked that because it's very easy to identify how it does have that personality. All right, so the goal is to assist customers with their queries. And then here, these are going to be the 4 main points, right? We want to add them to the pipeline, but we want to differentiate in these pipelines by the service type. So we're going to simplify this. First, understanding, as I've told you guys in previous sessions, how when we try and understand high level, we got to think about this like a math equation, right? The math equation says, like PEMDAS, right? Order of operations. What do we need to do first, and what do we need to do? What do we need to do last to be able to get the final answer? Just like high level, it's the same process. So, if we want to have this done, the last stage, of course, is going to be that part of the workflow. So, service type. What are the services? Let's focus on 2, just to keep this simple. And we're going to do general cleaning and braces. Okay? General cleaning and braces. Wait 1 second. Let me look at some of this stuff here. Okay. Perfect. And then the personality. So personality, we're gonna put it in here because it's obviously on the top. Personality. You have a Southern. You are very sweet, empathetic, and caring assistant named Darlene. Perfect. So we got this one done. Next, a pipeline. So we got 2 types of services, so we need 2 pipelines. I think we did one of these last time. And I think we were messing with it earlier. If I don't know, we'll go check him in a second. But we gotta give, in the intent, our prompt. And we're gonna focus on how to build that here in a second. But again, we gave it the personality. Now here where it says you cannot, high level by default puts this here. So we're gonna take this off because we do want them to help us with appointments. But right now, we're gonna focus right now on using the workflows. Okay? Because the workflows is gonna allow us to be able to select these new leads that come in and put them on the pipeline. and on their respective stages, on the opportunity stages. So I'm going to save for now what I have. Obviously, this is not a prompt. This is just notes, but I want you guys to be able to see them. So we're going to go and create a pipeline. And we're going to name this braces, new lead, booked. And I'm just going to leave it as that for now. New lead and booked. Create. We have the general cleaning. We go back to our agents. We're going to create a new workflow from scratch. And in this one, what we're going to do is add to a pipeline. And this workflow is going to be called General Cleaning AI. Okay? So General Cleaning AI, and I'm going to do opportunity. Again, very basic. Putting it under the General Cleaning, new lead. Leave it as is because it's going to fill out by default some of this information. Unless I already know what value this type of, if I was a dentist, I would tell you how much I'm making off of this, but I'm not. Save action. I don't need a trigger because I'm going to add this. And I need to publish this because until I publish it, I can see what's going on. I can see the type of automations I have. Otherwise, I cannot see them on the AI. Now, I'm going to just duplicate this to make it easy. And I'm going to put this braces AI. But I'm going to come here and I'm going to change the pipeline to the braces. And it's going to be a new lead. And save. Publish. Cool. So now, right, we're going to go to the AI agent, conversation, agent list, new employee we're building, go to goals, and right here under the intent, as we were, we now have the two pipelines. So we're going to say your goal is to assist the customers with their queries. You are to qualify the patient since you are, how do we do this one? You have to qualify the patient and determine if they are looking to get done with Dr. Jacob, or if they're needing braces. Okay, that's another one. All right, so we got these two done. You're also required to qualify. They're looking to get general cleaning done. And then the knowledge base, right? For the knowledge base, I'm going to hit save. I'm going to go to settings. I'm going to take these off, by the way, because I'm only going to put this on the live chat to test it live. And I'm going to name the bot Dr. Jacob. Oops. Dr. Jacob Assistant. I'm going to put it on autopilot, by the way. These mean, as a reminder, if it's unsuggestive, it will give you a suggestion. Like if it's like an SMS, for example, on your conversations, it'll show what the AI would reply, and then you can approve it and send. In an autopilot, it just does it on its own, right? You've trained the bot, you're confident that it can deliver, and so it would just send it out. So I'm going to hit save on this. I'm going to set it as the primary as well. Save. Then under bot training, the next question was creating answering FAQs. And so to answer FAQs, we need to create a knowledge base. So I'm going to call this one I'm going to call this just as an example. Let's let it load here. Taking a minute, this little loading section. Let me, oh, here we go. Let me go to, okay, there we go, pulled up. Okay. So what we would do is, we have a few different ways of doing this, right? We have the web crawler. So if you already have a website, you can simply hit add source, hit web crawler, and then you can enter the exact URL. So if there's a particular page that you can just go to and essentially have the AI, it'll scrape that data through, like it'll just grab the text from there and it will paste it here, right? Or you can have all URLs with a path. So it'll be going through, basically scanning through the URLs themselves, or all the URLs with a domain. I prefer just doing the exact URL. It's a little more accurate, if you ask me, in my experience, but completely up to you how you want to test it. Now, the way we're going to do this, though, because this is, hypothetical, we're going to do an FAQ. So I'm going to type in here, how much do your cost? They vary, but on average, they... Actually, I have no idea, so I'm going to put, do you take Aetna insurance? No, we do not. So I'm going to put Aetna, we do not take Aetna, and then I'm going to add another one, and I'm going to ask it if they take Blue Cross Blue Shield. Right? Question, answer, simple. And then I can also add we are open Monday through Friday, 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. Mountain Standard Time. Right? So just some basic info like that. Then we go back and we're going to go to the Conversation AI. And now what we have to do is we have to grab that and attach it to it. So we're going to go to the assistant. Here under the training, we're going to select the knowledge base that we just created. You can see here it's got 3 FAQs. We're going to hit save. Now to test it, we can hit the little test here, and I can ask him, hey, do you guys take Aetna? And they should, right, tell me no. Maybe you'll even suggest that, but we do take Blue Cross. No sugar, we don't take Aetna and sugars. Are you looking to get a general cleaning with algebra? Or are you interested in braces today? So at least, I was able to answer that. Under bot goals, we did give it that Southern Belle personality, right? Makes sense, the whole sugar thing. Called Darlene. Let's see, what else did we do? Let's see if we can continue going with it, because it's asking me now if I'm interested in braces or general cleaning. So it's doing that too. It's trying to qualify me. But we haven't done the last thing, which is now we have to add a workflow. So the workflow, right, is going to be putting them on the pipeline. So the action name is going to be new lead. Actually, general cleaning workflow. General cleaning. And the user is interested in getting a... So let me explain to you what these three things mean. Action name, this is for your reference to know what's the action name called, right? Select one or more published workflows to trigger. It's pretty cool that you can select multiple workflows to trigger. But basically here what you'll do is, what do you want to push out? What's going to trigger? And what needs to happen in order for this to trigger? That's why we didn't really need to add a trigger when I built that workflow, because this is my trigger. So when the user is interested in getting a general cleaning done, right? So I'm going to save that. But before I save, I'm going to add another one. And I'm going to put here braces workflow. And then when the user is interested in getting braces done. Now I'm going to hit save. Now let's just double check. When the user is interested in getting a general cleaning done. When the user is interested in getting braces done. Boom, we're done. Save, and you got 2 saved. So this should give us enough info. Of course, under additional information, we can put things like, hey, you are never to recommend or offer medical advice, right? You can put your disclaimers here, and you can add more personality to it. This is just, we can put here, you are about for Dr. Jacob Dentistry. Otherwise, the default is going to default to your location name. Our wiki is basically the knowledge base. Let's see what else we're missing. This is a very simple one. Of course, we can keep going. And another thing is how you train your bot. Of course, you give it a thumbs up or the thumbs down if you don't like the responses. But what I want to do now, because we're running short on time now, this was just a special live Q&A little workshop. I want to publish this into a templatized funnel, and really see how it can trigger this automation. So we can see here they're both published, and there's nobody enrolled, right? And if I go to opportunities, we have the general cleaning, nobody's here. And we have the braces, and nobody's here. Let's wait for it to load. Hold on. Here's that. Nobody's on either of them. So, anybody know what's the first step in being able to have an AI chatbot added to a website or a funnel? Okay, already got some right answers. Awesome. Yeah, you got to go to the chat widget section, and then you have to hit new. And we're going to pick live chat, okay? Live chat, because this one will engage with the conversational AI here on their website. Now, you can come through here and make all your edits so that it looks appealing to you, but I'm just going to keep it dentist AI chat, right? I'm going to hit save, and I'm going to go back. Oh, did I not save it? Here we go. Now, I'm going to go to funnels. I'm going to create a new funnel from template. Hey, let's see if they have Anything in health? Should it be have healthcare? Medical. Here we go. Here's the dentist one. I'll just hit continue. And I will not make any edits to this site. I'll just keep it as is. But now I'm going to go to settings. Now under the chat widget, I should be able to see the Dentist AI chatbot, right? But to be 100% certain that this chatbot is connected, what do I need to be 100% certain of that it will reply to me? Anybody? Yes. We gotta go here, check our conversational AI on our agents, make sure it's primary, make sure it's on, and it's on live chat, right? The supported channel is live chat. So we're good to go. So now we can go back to our sites, Dentist Scheduler. I'm gonna hit open. And now here it is. So let's go ahead and check it out. Remember, we created a workflow, right? So enter your question below. This is a default message because we didn't make any edits to it. This is just what it goes by default. So I'll just say, hey there, right? Simple. And if we recall correctly, we told it to take a little bit longer, not immediately, to reply to us. And we did tell it would be a Southern Belle type of lady. Hey there, sugar. What brings you by today? Looking for general cleaning. I'm maybe thinking about braces. All right. So it's already trying to qualify me, right? Let me actually test it, right? I'm going to ask it, I'm going to say general cleaning, but it was going to ask if you guys are open on Friday. I'm going to say Saturday. Now remember, I said Monday through Friday, 9 to 5. I think that's what I put it. So let's see. Okay, cool. You see? So it did say that it's only Monday through Friday, but you see it does have that empathetic kind of personality that we told it to have. So I'll say, yes, I am interested in general cleaning. And it's already replying back and forth. So that's cool. Now, if I actually go back, now, I just wanted to see if it. Let me see. Hold on. If it grabbed the automation now. Okay, you see, it put it under general cleaning. There's that one. So if it put it there, it should have executed the action. We can go check on the execution logs. And it did update the opportunity. So we go back to workflows and opportunities. We're under braces, so it's not here. But if we go here, it should be under new lead. And it is. Now I know what you're thinking. Well, how am I ever gonna know who this is? It just says guest visitor and some random name. Well, this is what high level does if you don't give the AI a requirement to capture data before putting it in this workflow. So for example, what we need to do in the actual prompt is give it instructions, but we don't have a lot of time, right? That's why we have those actual workshops. We would give it a prompt to say, hey, I need you to extract name, number, email. We could even go as far as extracting, do you have tooth pain? Where at, right? do you know how to get here? Do you have this type of insurance, or whatever you want to extract? As long as obviously, if you're doing healthcare, you're HIPAA compliant. That all being said, we can connect here, and we can have the reminders sent out and all that good stuff. But again, this was just the simple Q&A for those of you who are very new, that were referred over, to get an idea of what this looks like. I hope that kind of gave you a general brief understanding of how this AI stuff works. And you can see here that a trigger was made, time saved, all that nice stuff. So, with that being said, those were some good questions. Again, I hope you found today helpful. Remember, this is what we do every single week. This is like, we go a lot more in depth, like I said. And if you know of anybody or any other user who wants to learn more about high level, feel free to invite them to join. You can actually go right here. You can go to HL Pal. So that's hlpal.com, like PayPal, but HL for high level, short. And right here, we just teach, professionals like yourself how to actually go through this, the conversational, the voice, right? The integration, the workflows, all this good stuff. And we got 2 sessions. We got it for the chat and we got it for the voice. We have the chat in the morning and we have the voice at night. Sometimes these will change, but right now this is kind of how we have it set up. So you're welcome to check this out. Let's see real quick. And, again, this is for agency owners, freelancers, in-house teams. But if you want to keep outsourcing or overpaying, maybe not for you. And you walk away with a lot of good stuff here. So, again, these are the sessions and the passages you can pick from. And you just go to hlpal.com. So, thank you again for joining me, and hope to see some of you guys again in the next Q&A.